Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of South by Sudvest as we take a look back at the year that has gone and start to make plans for the year ahead. If you enjoy the video, if you've been enjoying the series so far, make sure you drop a like. That would be super duper swell. We are not going to really kind of sit on this and spend a lot of time with the end of season review. Lars Gindorf was named our signing of the season. He made 34 total appearances, scored 7 goals, added 6 assists. He was actually very good. It's a shame that we moved away from using an attacking midfielder. That's something we may need to look at next year. Kai Brunker, absolutely excellent. 14 appearances, 7 of them starts. We got him from Saarbrücken, and in the last episode we mentioned that Saarbrücken may need to be our primary feeder, but he is 30 years old, so he's got some age behind him. Picked up 4 goals in those appearances, again, mainly as a substitute. Calogero, Rizzuto, okay, we spent $130,000 on him. Really not the greatest return on investment, although he was decent for a mid-table team, picking up 3 assists. Henrik Zuch, we got him before we knew that Rizzuto was going to be available. Obviously, we picked up Rizzuto in January. Only made 5 appearances, a single start. We're going to be looking to move him on if possible. Aaron Manu, I absolutely loved this kid. Picked up a goal and an assist. That goal was in the last episode. Made 17 starts, 19 appearances overall. Rafael Adieli has a ton of potential behind him. Didn't do anything offensively, but that really wasn't his job. 275,000. He was kind of in and out of the lineup a little bit. 23 appearances, all of them starts. Leonard Niederlander, 15 appearances since we picked him up on loan from Mainz in the January transfer window. Picked up a pair of goals. He was very, very strong and very solid at the base of our midfield. Hopefully we can get him back for another year. I don't think we're going to be able to, just because the way FM works, they tend to not like to loan players out to the same team over and over again. Daniel Bohl, okay, made 5 starts, 7 sub appearances, picked up an assist. We didn't really use him as much as I thought we might. Same with Lucas Kieran. Spent a lot of time kind of hanging out with the B team. 40,000 for him, just 2 appearances overall. We might want to try to work him in once we look at the stats, see how he did. Angelo Stavridis, a bit of a disappointment. We got him on a free from Kaiserslautern. Just made 7 sub appearances, did not contribute offensively, and he started throwing up a bit of a fuss throughout the year. And David Mutter was just a backup goalkeeper. We spent 24 grand on him. We got him before we realized that we had Boss in place. At the time, we just needed to get a body into the building. Players that went out, Nicholas Christoph, our hands were tied on this one. He wanted to go to a bigger team. He wanted to leave ELVERSBERG, and so we agreed on a fee. It was 1.9 million. We ended up getting 2.3 in the end. We didn't really spend much of that. That's where our transfer budget is coming for the year. It's 1.6 million. He made 22 appearances for Almeria. He was okay. He was what he was. Joseph Boyamba wasn't getting any activity here. Sold him to Hansa Rostock for 135,000. Didn't really do a whole lot. Did score a pair of goals though. Arnie Zicker, a pain in the butt from day one. 60 grand to Vitesse. Paul Stock, didn't really want to get rid of him, but kind of we couldn't turn the money down. 875,000 to SC Heerenveen. Lucas Kerner went to Koblenz, made 12 sub appearances, had a pretty awful year. That just basically justified that we made the right decision, and we let Frank Lehman go. He was like our 5th choice to begin with. Pretty decent year. Average home attendance of just under 7,150. Finished 11th. Our goal was to avoid relegation, and that is the goal for next year as well. So the board really not putting any overly taxing requirements on us moving forward. We got off to quite a rough start, as you see, losing 4, 5, 6 of our first 8 matches. And the first half of the season was pretty bad. But then we went on a couple of runs, so that was not bad. In the DFB Pokal, we did make it past the first 2 rounds, beating Ingolstadt on penalties and Arminia Bielefeld. I believe that was in extra time before losing on pens to Eintracht Frankfurt, who ended up in the final, losing to Bayer Leverkusen by a score of 3-1. Our biggest win, 5-0 over Braunschweig. We did that twice, but this year and last year. Goal of the season went to Lars Gindorf in a 2-2 draw against Ingolstadt, going top drawer. Samir Shaheen, our top shirt seller. He's also the one who costs us the most. How do we line up? Boss with Neubauer, Adieli, Liancourt. I guess we used the 4-2-3-1 more than the 5-2-3 or the 5-3-2. So Neubauer, Adieli, Liancourt, Fellhauer, Shaheen, Derholz, Schnellbacher, Feil, Gindorf, and Martinovic. Anything interesting? 4 goals in the match by Manuel Feil. We talked about that earlier on. Most man of the match awards for this year and for all time is Dominik Martinovic. And highest transfer fee ever received, $2.33 million from Nicholas Kristoff. And Carlos Sickinger scored the fastest goal in ELVERSBERG history in just 1 minute. Player of the season was Luka Derholz. Really? That's weird because we did not get as much playing time as we thought he would. 19 starts, 5 sub appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. He was pretty good. Well, he was really good in the DFB Pokal, picking up just the 1 assist, but a 7.6 rating in the 2 matches that he played. Lars Gindorf was the young player of the season for us, and the rest of it, we really don't care much about. What we do want to do is take a look at the competition and specifically at the stats. I want to see how the team did. We're going to go to the team detailed. Average possession, we were actually pretty good. We were 7th in the league at 51%. Paderborn led the league. Now, they had a better season than we thought they would. Surprisingly, like the teams like at the tippy top, not really there as far as possession is concerned. Headers won, 831 for 46%, which put us 16th in the league, which is not great. 13th in headers won ratio. That's something we do need to work on. Kaiserslautern, we picked up the lead in yellow cards with 61. We need to work on our discipline as well. 4th in the league, 2nd in red cards with 2. That's not fantastic. Points per game, 11th. Naturally, that's where it's going to put us. Let's go down into the attacking goals. We were 6th in the league in goal scoring, which is absolutely fantastic. 56 goals in 34 league matches. Only 4 of them off of corners, though, which is highly disappointing. We were 5th in expected goals. We actually overperformed our XG by 7, which is fantastic, which put us, obviously 14th in underperformance. Expected goals 4, we were 5th at 48.75. Non-penalty expected goals 9th. Really interesting. And non-penalty expected goals per 90, 1.29, which put us in 9th. So mid-table in a lot of ways. We did take a lot of penalties. We were tied for 3rd with 6. We scored 4 of the 6. That's not terrible. Cross completion is somewhere we can look for some improvement. 14th overall in the league at 14%. We did complete more crosses than a decent amount. 10th there. Goals from corners, that's where we really were lacking. Stott was the worst with 2. We were not much better. Just 4 out of our 56 goals came from corner kicks. We did manage 1 off of a direct free kick and pretty good off of the indirect free kicks. 5 goals. We were tied for the league lead, which is pretty impressive. Pass completion, Paderborn up at 90%. We were at 87, which put us 6th in the league, so we're doing a good job with the passing. We completed 14. Wow, Paderborn did a lot of passing. They made nearly 7,000 more passes than we did. 7th in chances created at 102, 9th in shots. So we're basically mid-table in a lot of these categories. But we are ahead of our final position, which ultimately tells me that we were not good enough in front of the net. 42% shots on target. Not terrible, but right about where we were expected to be. I think that a lot of that was Martinovic. He did lead the team with 12 goals, but just not... he just was not clinical enough. Although, of our shots on target, we did have the third highest conversion rate, so that's pretty good. So that tells me if we were able to get more shots on target, if we were more clinical with our finishing, then we could have definitely seen a massive, massive improvement. Ninth in shots on per game. Fouls against, we were pretty good at drawing those fouls. We were second in the league, which meant that we were being aggressive, and they needed to do everything they could to kind of take us off the ball. Dribbles made, about where I expected to be. Really not big on the dribbling. Don't really have a lot of dribbly boys right now, especially since we've got defenders as our width. Possession, second in possession lost. And with 51% possession, that's huge. We definitely need to be better on the ball. And something that I've talked about kind of ad nauseum throughout this year, where it just seemed like our guys would dribble themselves in the cul-de-sacs, not get around the guy, and just lose the ball way too easily. We did have a number of final third passes for per game, 70 final third passes on average. Puppy hush. That's what happens when you record live. Schalke with the best defense, and not surprisingly, we were 17th. 60 goals conceded. Only Braunschweig was worse with 70, and that's an area we need to most definitely improve on. Expected goals against, we were 6th. Conceded from corner. Yeah, we gave up 8 corner goals. So we gave up twice as many corner goals as we let in, or as we scored ourselves. We let in 1 direct free kick. Indirect free kicks, though, tied for 15th, giving up 4. And so we managed, of our 60 goals, 13 of them came off of set pieces, something we definitely need to work on. Clean sheets, not a shock. We are at the bottom. We only managed to keep 3, and we didn't keep any through the last, 6-7 weeks of the season. And we're also second in conceding fouls as well. So our discipline is absolutely terrible. 14th in tackles, tackle 1 ratio. 6th, not bad. So when we were able to make the tackles, we were pretty decent. I guess we're not attempting as many tackles as we should. 17th in blocks with 112. Karlsruhe led the way with 201. I think we're seeing a pattern here. Possession 1, 16th. Clearances 17th. Interceptions 17th. We conceded the second most number of penalties. Only second to Braunschweig. Shots against 12th. That's not terrible. Shots on target against, we were 13th. So as far as the shooting, I guess the other teams were just more clinical as well. Passes attempted against, we were 5th. And the 6th number of passes completed. We definitely need to get into this bottom half of this category. Headers lost, 15th. So we didn't. So this is the frustrating thing. We weren't very good at winning our headers. But as far as losing the headers, we weren't terrible either. In fact, we were among the league's best in the air as far as defending headers, which I feel like these stats are contradictory to themselves. And we allowed the 5th fewest final third passes against per game. Fewer final third passes than goals allowed. What does that tell you? Did we sell out ever? We did. We sold out once, which is pretty good. Net transfer spend, surprisingly, we're in 14th with a negative 2.82. Wolfsburg, wow. They did not spend anything. They recouped 77 million. Meanwhile, Dynamo Dresden spent more than our transfer budget is for the next year, and salary per year. Yeah, no surprise. we are at the bottom, and I expect us to be at or near the bottom again. So looking at our squad, let me filter out the second teamers and the U19ers. So Luka Weiss still on an amateur contract, the 20-year-old. I mean, we're not paying him anything, so if he wants to stick around, fine. He did make one appearance, which was a bit of a surprise. And we don't have a ton of contracts expiring. I think we have 6, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 of which are loans. There's Niederlander and Kai Brunker. Brunker, I think he's out of contract this year. He is. He's going to be out of contract with Saarbrücken, so we can potentially bring him on. We'll look to see what his effectiveness truly was. I did enjoy him back there. Leon Kor is, I don't know about him. It doesn't have a ton of value. We're paying him $3,200. That may be wage that we want to free up. Did make 25 starts in our 34 matches for us. Picked up a goal and an assist. He was not terrible. Neubauer wants to go. He wants to explore his options. He wants to move to a bigger club. He is wanted by Karlsruhe and Sandhausen. Although Karlsruhe, they're also with us in the Drittliga, so I don't know. He will be a big loss on that left side of the defense. We do need to figure out what we're going to do. Yannick Hauptz, I mean, he made 3 appearances, all of them off of the bench. We brought him in just to bring in extra bodies in season 1. He really just doesn't make the grade. So he is, even though we need guys from the area, I think Yannick Hauptz, we're going to free up a little wage bill. Same with Salif Cisse. I had higher expectations of him, and he did pretty well in the one DFB Pokal match that he started, picking up an assist. He scored 1 goal in 10 total appearances. Just, I don't know, man. I feel like we don't have enough midfielders, and yet we have too many midfielders at the same time. And Cisse, 1.6 thousand a week. He's got really no value to him. He's 30 years old. I think it's time we move on there. Niederlander, I would like to get back. Even though the average rating doesn't really show it, again, even with the different match engine that we are using from the basic, it seems to me that the defensive midfielders just really don't quite get their due. He is on loan from Mainz. I believe he's still under contract with them for another year. Maybe we bring him in permanently and maybe spend some of our money on Niederlander. Although, with the value there, I don't know if I want to spend that much on a DM. But at 19 years old, he's got plenty of upside. I don't know. We shall see. So let's take a look at our team. I mean, we'll look at the goalkeepers. And we want to do the statistical analysis where goalkeeper. I mean, it was all Tim Boss, made 31 appearances, conceded 1.69 per game, only kept the 3 clean sheets. A ton of saves, but he underperformed his XG. And, wow. I mean, that's per 90. Like, yeah, he should have made 8 more saves, 70% save percentage. I mean, if we have to go another year with Tim Boss, we will. I kind of hope we don't have to go another year with Tim Boss. Let's take a look at our fullbacks, and let me filter that down to the guys on the side. Shall we sort by minutes? Let's sort by minutes. Neubauer and Fellhauer were the guys who got the most playing time. Manuel File, we moved him back into that position, and he won possession like an absolute madman. And if you look at that, so Hendrik Zook, Lucas Pinkert, seeing that we conceded more with those guys in. Salif Cisse didn't really play in the position, but I guess he can, so he counts. Probably the best in that position as far as defensively, at least as far as number of goals given up when he was on the pitch. And we only played essentially 10, 11 full matches. Was Calogero Rizzuto. Made 11 starts, 5 sub-appearances, 1.36 goals conceded. Manuel File does need to still work a little bit. Now, he's not really defensively minded. And that could be the issue that we were seeing in the final match in the last episode against Hamburg, where he was getting beat. Now he's okay winning the possession back per 90 minutes. I mean, he is definitely the weakest of the three. Neubauer is really going to be a loss. I wish we could sign him back. He did lose possession quite a bit. Fellhauer was obviously better there. You're going to lose possession when you're playing in that kind of position, when you're sending crosses in, things like that. As far as pressures attempted, these guys were really the top three. Manuel Feil, though, completing more pressure, so he was definitely the more aggressive defensively of these guys. Fellhauer leading in blocks, clearances, all fairly even. Interceptions went to Neubauer. Fellhauer was pretty good in that respect, although can he play on the left-hand side? He kind of can. His left foot is a bit weak. Maybe we move him over there, although we might give Rizzuto, because Rizzuto did have very solid numbers as far as, obviously the weakest of the three, but also the smallest sample size. Tackles per 90. Feil with 3 tackles per 90. Pretty good. Key tackles, I don't really know if that's a great indication. I don't know if that statistic is really calculated properly. Tackle percentage, Rizzuto, the worst at 63%. Progressive passes, Robin Fellhauer was the best, although Rizzuto was really, frankly, Lucas Pinkert was the best, but he just, I don't know, he has bothered me from day one. He still has time on his contract. I think we're going to try to find a way to move. Oh, yeah, he's making $4,500 a week. He is absolutely 100% gone. In fact, let's set his transfer status right now to transfer listed. He prefers to stay here, but he's open to speaking to other clubs. Yes, I would like to confirm my changes. On paper, he looks like a decent player. He's kind of fine. But at the end of the day, he made 4 appearances with a 6.6 rating. Well, he made 5 appearances. But it only says 4 here, but it's 5 here. He just did nothing but pick up a yellow card. He was fine in friendlies, but that kind of money we can definitely put to better use. Progressive, again, Fellhauer. Surprisingly, Feil not as good. As an offensive player, I would have expected more from him there. Rizzuto is fine. Now, Rizzuto could potentially be our left back for next year. He needs to work on the tackles. The headers, he was the best of all of them, so maybe defending that back post could be the best thing. Crosses attempted, most went to Neubauer. He was probably the most offensive of our fullbacks. Again, he was on the left side we have on attack duty, and Rizzuto did play a bit there as well. 2 matches as left wing back, 1 as left defender. Most of the time he spent on his right side. He's got to work on his pace a little bit. I don't know if at the age of 33 he'll be able to do that, but I think he's a decent. He was making $4,200. I don't know. We might. We'll have to look at our options in the offseason to see. Rizzuto is fine to stay. Pinkert has to go. Zook has to go. Cisse is already on his way out. Crosses completed. Everyone's fairly even. Rizzuto a little bit higher. Open play crosses per 90. Again, Rizzuto leading that one. Crosses attempted, Rizzuto and Fellhauer. So like that right side, getting a lot of crosses out of there. 4 assists for Fellhauer. Rizzuto picked up 3. Obviously, we're going to lose the contributions that Neubauer made. But, offensively speaking, Rizzuto on that left side may not be a terrible idea. Didn't take any shots, but fairly determined personality. Like I kind of like. I think I'm talking myself into Rizzuto. All right, let's go to the center backs now. A lot of similar statistics. Although Fellhauer, I wish we could get Fellhauer out of here because he really just does not fit the bill. He did not really play center back at all. Aaron Manu did have a mistake that led to a goal in his 19 appearances. Passing, Leoncourt was the best. Zickinger, not bad, actually. And he's got that resolute personality. Just something about him. I just didn't feel like I could necessarily trust him. Fellhauer, again, we'll take Fellhauer out of it because he was playing on the outside. As far as interceptions go, it was led by Zickinger. Shots blocked between Adiele, Zickinger, and Manu. Blocks per 90, again, Leoncourt kind of last in that category as well. Did lead the team in clearances, however, and his header's not bad. Manu was really good in the air. We do need to get Leoncourt better. Now the 77% probably isn't great relative to the position in general, but as far as the team is concerned, he was absolutely the best. 75% for Lucas Kieran in limited minutes. I mean, they only played 97 minutes. Did a decent job with possession. Good passing. Good passes, complete key passes. He was right up there with Fellhauer. I mean, obviously these guys fall behind. Now Zickinger was kind of that. He always played in that center position. So that wasn't his game necessarily. His job was to move it out to either Manu or Leoncourt or Adiele, whoever was wide of him. No blocks for Kieran. So, but your interceptions, okay, a little on the low side, but that again is very limited time for the youngster. I mean, just in 2 appearances. Aerial challenges attempted per 90, kind of up there. Adiele was tops. Manu was, 77% was rather efficient, I would say. Obviously, winning the headers per 90. Lucas Kieran, again, small sample size, but maybe we need to give Lucas Kieran a few more opportunities in the year ahead. Obviously, we're going to be looking to upgrade, so that may not happen as much as we want, but I definitely think we have to do something defensively. Headers lost per 90. Aaron Manu was yes, he's Zickinger. That's where only 52% on the headers. I mean, resolute personality. He's got the stats. He's got the numbers. But if we can improve in reality, in output and performance on Carlos Zickinger, I think we may have to. Yeah, defensively speaking, he's good with moving the ball. Now, he could play in a DM position. We might try him out there if we keep him around, but he is making a lot of money. Defensive midfielders. Oh, God, there are a lot of guys who could play in that position. Samir Shaheen is number 1. 34 starts, 35 appearances overall. Let's see how he stacks up with other guys. I mean, tackling isn't bad. Fellhauer played some in the midfield. Zickinger played some. Luka Derholtz, obviously, is there. Only the 1 key pass, and he was playing in that more, not really a playmakery role, but if we go to the he was playing in that playmakery role for a lot of, wait, which one is this? Yeah, that's the one we were playing most. So as a playmaker, with just 1 key pass per 90, when you have Luka Derholtz, maybe Derholtz should be the guy. And I said that at the beginning of last year, and something led me to move away from Luka Derholtz, and I'm not sure. Now, he's not as good defensively, although, team goals conceded, yeah, he's kind of the worst of them. So he's much more of that attacking type player, and maybe that's where I should have been playing him a bit more, although somewhat on par with the tackles per 90 with Shaheen. Interceptions, he's pretty good. Fellhauer, you got to take the Fellhauer's numbers. Shaheen, Zickinger, up there. Niederlander, now that I look at it, I'm not sure. Maybe Niederlander wasn't as good as I thought he was. Now, I mean, he did attempt a ton of aerial challenges, more than Shaheen. Obviously, injured. That was mostly, I think, from the back line. Luka Durholz, again, all these numbers are telling me that Durholz should be the playmaker. He's got the decent vision in passing. Picked up 2 assists, got the 3 goals. I think he scored most of those, honestly, in that like box to box role. Now he is, slightly injury prone, making $4,000 a week. Doesn't have a ton of value though. But I really do think that, in retrospect, a lot of fouls for Shaheen as well. His discipline is not fantastic. But I honestly think that I'm looking at the center back. Let's see if there's. I mean, center mid. I mean, not a ton changes. The team conceded, again, Durholz leading the way there. Helps, yeah, just didn't play enough. Patrick Dragon didn't play enough. I mean, maybe Dragon's a little hard done. I mean, we're getting good value for him, so keeping him around for a body where necessary, but just making the 2 sub appearances. I just felt that we had better options. Let's look at the strikers. This is really where I want to see what's what. So we filter them in. Attackers, center attackers. We had a ton. Let's go back by minutes. So Martinovic was there the most. Offsides 25 times. Not a shock for a guy leading the line. Ronnie Jochelt with 11. He actually played a ton of matches. Now, a lot of those, 14 of those were on the left side. So he was really our starter there before we made the switch. He's making a lot of money. Does have some value to him. He's currently out injured, which does not help. He wants to explore his options. He's got a year left on his contract. I think Jana Rochelt is definitely going to go in this offseason if we can make that happen. Non-penalty XG, Brunker was definitely up there. Martinovic was number 2, followed by Schnellbacher. Drakawi did okay there as well. Joshua Mies is one that we haven't really talked about because he kind of got shuffled to the side and played more of a bit role this last year, and especially when we made the change to formation, he would most often come in as that left wing back, which again wasn't very often, but he did decently in that role. I feel like a lot of players are making in the 4,000 to 5,000 range right now, so they may be superfluous. Obviously, it was Martinovic and Schnellbacher leading the way in goals. Only 4 for Brunker. I was kind of hoping for higher output. Now, he's winning headers, though. So in that support role, like that's what he's there for. And that's really what he did best. It's a shame he wasn't able to pull off any assists, however, because I think that he would be. I think that's really what is good for him now. Now Schnellbacher definitely overperformed his XG fantastically. Minutes per goal, everyone was pretty even. Schnellbacher and Martinovic almost identical, and then all 3 of them kind of right there, and pretty much the same with the goals per 90 as well. So we could really have gone with any 2 of these 3. Now, the chances created, Brunker, again, leading the way. That was really his job. And maybe Gabriel Drakawi, if we cannot get Brunker back in one way, shape, or form, he may be good for that role. He does have a bit of the pace. 6 foot, so he's shorter than Brunker. And he hasn't really played striker, but I think he can. And looking at him as a deep lying forward, I mean, his passing is decent. Vision could use a little work. Finishing is okay. I like his composure though, and his jumping reach kind of sucks. That's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause with that plan. But he could definitely be, an option off of the bench perhaps, if absolutely necessary. We've got to decide which way we're going to go. Now, Schnellbacher, again, is another guy. He's opting out of his contract. He signed through the next year. He's got a value to him. We had to promise we would sell him if we got an offer for $1.4 million. And I think he may be a little bit on the decline, but he did have a pretty solid year up top. But so did Dominic Martinovic. Now, he kind of rotated between the 2 roles. at 5'10", he's not really suited for the deep lying forward. He always struck me in the match engine as that kind of like secondary, further back kind of guy. But, now that I'm looking at things a little more clear, he's definitely got the pace and acceleration to get in behind the line. Bit of a hefty price tag, but he is around for another couple of years. The only issue I have with him is his shots on target. Only 44% of his shots on target. And as you can see it's 43 here. I mean, Schnellbacher was fantastic there. Drakawi actually pretty good. Joshua Mee's pretty good. Brunker was the only one behind Martinovic. But again, that's not really his job, although Brunker took more shots on average per 90 minutes than anybody else by a long shot. So we really need to work on his finishing if we're going to keep him around. But again, not really what he's there for, but so any scoring that he provides is absolutely fantastic. Drakawi with the highest conversion rate, followed by Schnellbacher. Dominik Martinovic converting on just about 1 out of every 4 shots that he got on target. So a lot to think about for this coming year. A couple of guys that are definitely going to be moving on. We have to look at the transfer market, see what we have available. Financially, we are in a better position. And as far as the stuff with the club, we've got average training facilities, average youth facilities, average academy coaching, and fairly basic youth recruitment. We're going to hopefully be able to up these. I don't know if... I think I want to target the youth before the training facilities, although the training facilities do need to see improvement as we move on. As far as our manager is concerned, it's the last thing that we are going to look at. Not bad. Definitely weighted towards technical and discipline. Decent motivation. We're known for playing entertaining football and wanting a high-tempo pressing game. Not a full gegenpress, but... it's kind of up there. Our preferred formation still remain, although it says tactical style gegenpress, but I'm not trying to do a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. It just kind of happened. We do sign compatriots, so we're very high up there on signing players from Germany. I think 97% of our team is German. We have made all of our press conferences. We are fluent in German and English. We just need to get this reputation up a little bit. Maybe we'll go for a coaching course as well. Goal difference, though, over the career is in the negative, and we have lost more matches than we've won. So it's not great, but it could be much worse. But we do have a lot of work to do as we head towards season 3. If you've gotten this far, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of the series, anything you'd like to see, anything that you love that we're doing, anything that you absolutely hate. I would appreciate that. So if you got this far, please drop a comment in there. It helps the algorithm as well. And I look forward to seeing you back here for season 3 of South by Sudvest. Until then, bye-bye.